public service announcement. I just wanted to make this little vlog to address the greatness and sheer awesomeness that is the Skyrim modding community. For those of you who watch the Elder Scrolls lore series, you'll know that the series is made about 50 times better because of the Skyrim modding community. Mods have allowed us to go places and meet characters in the test franchise that otherwise would have been locked out to us in the making of the lore series. For those of you who have been messaging us asking which mods we're using in which episodes, we list these mods in the video descriptions of each episode so that you can find them easily. They're always at the bottom of each video description. Recently, we've been granted access to Skywind, which will have us visiting Morrowind more and more in future episodes. I plan on making a video talking about Skywind and what that project exactly is for those of you who don't know, but that'll be for another time. We've been receiving a lot of messages lately demanding that we start some sort of Skyrim mod show here on the channel. And while I definitely like the idea and the sentiment, I don't think a mod show would be appropriate for the kind of channel we're trying to grow here. You see, I'd much sooner introduce a new lore series and spend our time and resources on that. That said, mods are freaking fun, and I myself have over 150 lore-friendly mods that I use in my Skyrim client. Everything from Dwemer airships to mods that introduce entire new quest lines and more. If you own Skyrim on PC, I would highly recommend finding a good weekly mod show that will introduce you to new and exciting Skyrim mod content. Browsing through the Nexus and Steam Workshop is all well and good, and that's how we find a lot of the mods that we use in the lore series. But you'll be missing out on all the hidden gems. There's a lot of mods out there that you just won't find otherwise. There's a couple Skyrim mod reviewers that I can recommend to you, but I actually got in touch with the most popular one here on YouTube over at MMOX Review, and I got his permission to post one of his episodes for you. He runs a really good show, and I've picked one of my favorite episodes to show you all today. Most of these mods are lore friendly, so you don't need to worry about that, and a few of them in particular add some really cool RP elements to the game, like the need to feed your character and keep them nourished. Think of the hardcore mode in Fallout where you have to keep your character hydrated and stuff. It just adds an extra layer of difficulty to the game that's really fun, especially if you're looking to replay Skyrim again in a different light. Anyway, I'll go ahead and play this episode of Skyrim Mods weekly. I'd highly recommend subscribing to a show like this if you want to get into mods, or discover new mods that you haven't even heard of. Oh, and one last thing, because I've been guilty of this too. Don't forget to endorse the mods that you like. I have a friend that makes mods and he loves the recognition of it, and just the show of support. You know, those guys are doing what they love, making mods and providing them free of charge. Anyway, here's that episode I promised you. Enjoy.
Who doesn't love wenches, right? Everybody loves wenches. You can't get enough of wenches. That's what this first mod is for. This is immersive wenches, and it adds immersive wenches to your game, 48 of them to be exact. Wenches, believe it or not, are human beings too, guys. They have their own schedules. As you can see, in the mornings, they simply walk around their city. In the afternoon, you'll find them mostly around the marketplace. And of course, at night is when they'll head to the inns and taverns and start serving people. And come midnight is when they start slooting it up. Just kidding. They start to actually drink themselves and maybe take seats, maybe cook some food. Alright guys, next up we have two mods by Isoku. The next two mods will depend on his most famous mod, Wet and Cold. And what this mod does is pretty much make NPCs react to, wet and cold. So when it's raining, you'll see water dripping off bodies. And if you look up in the sky, the rain will actually splatter on your face and cause your screen to go blurry for a second. In addition, when it's cold outside, NPCs will also put on fur hoods. So this next mod is called I Needs, and what it does is it adds this widget to the bottom right hand corner of your screen. The apple signifies how hungry you are, the bottle signifies how thirsty you are, and the moon signifies how tired you are. So as you can see, red means you're really thirsty, Yellow means you're semi-thirsty, and white means you're just not thirsty. When it's red, you'll suffer from severe fatigue, hunger, or thirst, and these will do really bad things to your statistics. At its default settings, you'll need to eat and drink 2 to 3 times a day and get at least 7 hours of sleep. The thirst is, real, and it's really easy to fulfill. All you need to do is have a water skin on you, which can be crafted. You can collect water from wells, you can even collect them from upright kettles after it rains. And you can also easily craft a water barrel construction kit that'll allow you to construct a water barrel anywhere you want and then disassemble it. Food, on the other hand, no longer restores health. They're a lot more scarce, way more, and eating raw food can actually kill you now. Ignoring your needs will not lead to death unless you check it in your MCM settings. In that case, yes, you will die if you do not satisfy your needs. You can also toggle on settings that will allow you to automatically eat stuff from your inventory, so all you will need to do is sort of keep your inventory stocked with foods, drinks, and, shit. Your character will also make noises when you don't satisfy her needs. Apparently, if you sit down to eat, your followers are also supposed to, follow and sit down and eat with you as well, but Jessica, she wasn't about that life. You're also supposed to be able to feed your horses, but, Shadomir, he wasn't about that life either. Jessica's actually into the thug life. Have you guys ever had a follower that just constantly steals other people's horses that don't belong to them? She thinks this is like fucking GTA or something, but it's not. So yeah, this mod adds another gameplay element that could make your game a little more challenging. It almost makes the game feel like Minecraft or Don't Starve. Now he just needs to add a 4th widget. If you don't bust a nut at least once a day, then minus 100 stamina. Also from Isoku comes the Holidays add-on for his Wet and Cold mod. This will add about 20 or so holidays from the Elder Scrolls lore, and it's amazing how the game just changes on these certain days. Come Saturnalia, the 25th of Evening Star, all the cities of Skyrim will automatically decorate themselves and you don't have to uninstall or install anything. For example, on Merchants Festival, which I'm assuming is, the Elder Scrolls version of Black Friday, you can see the 50% off sign appear and then disappear after the holiday is over. Now, I didn't have time to check out all 20 or so holidays, but the ones I did check out were pretty awesome. The Feast of the Dead was like a game of musical chairs. Like, the struggle to find the seat here was real. But I feel like some of the things he said would happen on certain holidays were just straight out lies. Like on Valentine's Day, apparently in-rooms are free and you're supposed to find couples in them, possibly getting it on, but instead I just found a lonely man drinking by himself. And apparently grandmas get wasted, just white girl wasted, at inns during Valentine's Day. One of my favorite holidays was definitely the Warriors Festival, where all the citizens kind of come out in all of their armor, and discounts and low prices tempt many untrained children to buy their first sword and fight in the streets. Unfortunately, I had to teach them, the lesson of the dangers of sword play and why you should not be, using a sword at such a young age. Cause shit like this can happen to anyone. You'll find the occasional conversation between NPCs very fitting of the holiday, such as this one on Warriors Festival.
Oh, ladies, is there anything a big, strong man can do for you this fine day?
I don't know. If you see any big, strong men around, let us know, will you?
But for the most part, they're really awkwardly quiet, except for Saturnalia and a few others.
I once captained a ship called the Argentine. She struck an iceberg.
It'd be nice if he was able to work with Chris Takahashi of interesting NPCs and possibly come up with some conversations during these holidays. But that's just my advice. That's just my, suggestion. You don't have to listen to me. Excellent mod. And moving on to the armor mod, we have the Draconic Bloodline armor by Ravendir. He also created the Witch of the Wild armor that was one of my favorite armor mods of all time. And like the Witch of the Wild, this armor mod is just ridiculously good. If I could remake my top 10 armor mods video, this would be in it for sure. That detail though, like the stitchings, the symbols on the belt, the dragons on the boots. I was actually gonna say this could belong in the Elder Scrolls Online, but no, this is actually, this looks too good to be in the Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, I just went there. This mod also comes with the Lotus robes, and the first thing I noticed about this particular outfit is those two really sexy looking, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're hanging off her neck. That necklace though is just so hot. And great pattern on the robes, comes with stockings, nice fur boots, optional sleeves, comes in black or red, and tits. Alright guys, so whoever attended the stream saw the first 30 or so minutes of this mod. This is Virus, a total conversion mod for Skyrim created by Skyrim Mods, the same guy that brought us into the depths, the first horror mod to have ever been created for Skyrim. The mod begins in an apartment complex with just you, your fist, and a flashlight. The story is pretty vague and it takes place in a boarding school called Search, a scientific organization or something, and it essentially plays out how any horror game would play out, especially like Outlast, because I feel like this was really heavily inspired by Outlast. I never played it, but I have seen enough Let's Plays to know what it's about. The story is carried on through phone calls with a voice, so apparently this guy has a cell phone but he doesn't call for help, and also through random diaries scattered throughout the school. He'll try to scare you by, dropping draugrs in front of you, adding some really loud sound effects, random sudden visions, and things running across the room. If you've played Skyrim enough, then obviously draugr aren't very scary at this point. I think new creatures would definitely help with the whole horror experience in this mod. And as far as difficulty goes, just make sure you pick up bandages and batteries whenever you find them, since combat really doesn't require much skill. Walking and running has been decreased severely, and you can't really block because your left hand is constantly holding a flashlight, and the draugr also take forever to kill you. So I wish he would have added something that you can run away from, and if you get caught you instantly die. That would have been a lot scarier. And that is it for this week guys. Hope you enjoyed all the mods featured in this episode. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out my stream in about 1 or 2 hours. Subscribe for more Skyrim mods every single week. Thank you all for watching. Peace.